Hello and welcome to another Oversky review. We're going to be taking a look at the Wisp Lightfalls. They gave us a bunch of new cards, which are really cool. And Wisp Lightfalls is actually a very cool encounter as well. You get to face off against the elementals of the Oversky, so be sure to check out that island. But this island brought some interesting tools for blue-yellow specifically, but also amplified some of blue-green's choices with Fugu. Very powerful legendaries features this island. But let's take a look at them, and I've added some deck lists as well. There's one deck list in there which is a little experimental. I take it with a pinch of salt. You'd have to try it in casual first. It's a concept that I worked on probably about a year ago now, but I'd be interested to see what you guys do with it. Anyway, let's get into the card reviews and see what they do. To start things off, we have Flight of the Mantis, which is a 2 Faeria event that costs 2 lakes, 2 deserts. When you draw this card, you create a copy in your hand. So keep in mind your opponent is going to know when you draw this card because they're going to see the additional card generate in your hand. I don't think that information is too big, to be honest. They're only 2/2s at the end of the day, but something to keep in mind. And then when you play each individual event, because you'll get 2 of them, you summon a 2/2 Manta with flying and charge 2. So this card is a bit like Battletoads. It's like Battletoads split in half, but with different mobility options. Battletoads being jumpers, the Mantas being flying, charge 2. So they kind of are very similar, but what's nice about the Mantas is you don't have to invest all the cards in one. So Battletoads, you have to play the 2 frogs, whereas this you can split them up. So it helps you play around like removal and firestorm and stuff like that, which is very handy. Getting 2 events as well is also pretty cool because it gives you event synergy. So you can use stuff like the Windstorm Charger and the Snowstorm Lancer, and you can power them up with this card. Aurora's Disciple as well, now that I think of it, is another example. In this list to the side of the Mantas, this is a list that I've worked on from some other ideas. This is just a Twin Soul deck that uses the Mantas as collectors. It's basically just cheap, effective cards which can harvest Faeria for you. And then, like I said, because they're split into 2, you can time them accordingly. You don't have to invest them all at once. But that is it for the Mantas. Perhaps we'll see some more event-based decks in blue-yellow in the future. But right now, I feel that the card is strongest in kind of a Twin Soul-esque build. Yellow now has its first legendary from the Oversky. It's Sanu, Eternal Light, a flying charge free. 6 Faeria, 6/6 with last words. A random friendly creature becomes the new Istanu. It can't attack this turn, and this costs 6 lands altogether, 2 desert, 4 wild. And I featured it in the list with the Mantas because Mantas and Battletoads have great synergy with this card. You turn your 2/2 into a 6/6 when it dies, and your opponent must really respect this. It's kind of like Runin in a way. You need to transform it to stop it from chaining off its ability, its last words. But unlike Runin, this card will get destroyed if there are no other creatures to copy. So you can play around it. You can destroy potential targets first and then take care of Istanu. Now, I feel this card is awesome. I like the idea and the concept of it. You know, a kind of like Runin, but I feel just a little fairer and a bit more balanced. And it is a powerful flying charged creature, so it has the potential to double collect. It also has the potential to be a finisher, something to push damage with, and can be very annoying, especially if you have other creatures on board. And this list, the Frog Soul Spirits, generates a lot of creatures. We have Battletoads, we have the Mantas, but we also have Twin Souls and Aurora's Creation, so keeping Istanu alive is pretty easy. So I really like this card. I look forward to seeing how it's applied in the future, and it's currently looking very strong in this blue-yellow Twin Souls list. Next, we have the blue legendary of the Oversky, Fugu, Merchant of Wonders. Fugu is the whole reason we've come to the Oversky, to stop the Emperor and meet the Rakoa and the other awesome creatures of the Oversky. Now, Fugu is a 5 Faeria, 6 land, 3/5 with jump, 3 lakes, 3 wild. Gift, choose one. Draw an Urn of Gabria, draw a Crystal Dragon, draw Yulani's Medallion. So you can choose between 3 treasures from Pandora. Urn of Gabria is a 0 cost event card that draws you 2 cards and gives you 2 Faeria. Crystal Dragon is a 6/6 fly-in charge 2. So very powerful there as well. And Yulani's Medallion is an event card that allows you to choose a creature and then all your creatures become that creature on board. So if you chose Goro, all your Battletoads and stuff like that would become Goros. So lots of powerful applications with the gift ability. I kind of feel that the Urn is the best. Basically, the Urn allows you to play Goro as a free Faeria, free 5, and you draw 2 cards as well. So very powerful with the Urn. And the other gifts, I feel like the other Pandora treasures have some applications, but in most cases I've used Goro as a kind of ramp tool to ramp my resources back, get more Faeria, get more card draw, and he is fantastic. And then when you combine this card with Aurora's Creation, oh man, it becomes incredibly powerful. So Goro potentially is the strongest legendary card of the Oversky. I know it's too early to call that, we still have more cards coming, but I feel this card is incredibly powerful, and I think we'll see this card around for a very, very long time. Moving away from the blue-yellow list, we're going to look at the blue-green ramp deck. In my previous review, I had a different version of this, but now we have Shifting Octopus, 4 Faeria, 3 lands, 1 Forest Lake Wild. Choose 1 twice. Gain +2 attack, gain +2 life, gain jump, gain taunt. And you get to choose this twice. Shifting Octopus is one of my favourite cards simply because of how much choice you have, because this will make the card very skillful and it will reward you for making very good decisions. So let's take a look at some examples of how Shifting Octopus can be applied. Adding 2 sets of gain 2 life to put it up to a 3/7 makes it a very bulky collector, which also has synergies with Feed the Forest. Making it have +2 attack and +2 life makes it a 5/5 for 4 Faeria. That is +1/+1 above the average stat line of a 4 cost. So again, very good. You can give it jump. A 3/5 jump is really good. A 3/5 taunt is really good as well. But you could also play this as a 7/3 if you want to apply pressure to your opponents. If you know your opponent doesn't have any good removal, you can use this as kind of a mini Colossus to push some damage. So has a lot of flexibility, a very good card in general, I think. This has kind of replaced Living Willow for me in the blue-green ramp because I enjoy the flexibility. Like Willow, for example, is a 1/7. It's always a 1/7. It will probably be used for Feed the Forest, but when you don't have Feed the Forest, it's kind of lackluster as a 1/7. Whereas the Octopus allows you to adapt to situations, to board states as you see fit, without having to rely on Feed the Forest. So this is why Shifting Octopus is now in the list, and I've taken out the Living Willows. Now I've also added Goro. Goro is insanely good, and with Aurora's Creation you have even more good options. You can copy Goro, you can copy Aurora, Frog Tosser, Skywhale. Great options for Aurora's Creation, and just this deck has become so much stronger with the inclusion of Shifting Octopus. So the next 3 cards I haven't seen much use because I feel like they still need some more support from future Oversky cards. And last time I just showed you the cards, but this time I have a deck list for you guys to try. Back in the day I had a deck called Fairy Wishes, and I've rebuilt that list with these new cards in mind. Now, I feel that Cedar Paradise in this list is a little cute. You could probably run an event instead, or a wood elemental, but for the sake of trying the card out, I think it's worth a go and just giving it a try. Leaping Fugu is a 3 Faeria 2 lake creature with jump. It's a 2/3, so it has decent stats, and if you control 8 or more special lands, it gains +3/+3 as a gift ability. So this card is a decent early game collector. It has jump, so it means it can get around the board easily, collect a lot of Faeria. If you do control a lot of special lands, you can then summon this and gain a power-up. So it has a bit of late game application and it has some good early game application. It's a bit of a shame it doesn't work like Archon. Archon, when you have cast 2 7-cost cards, it becomes a 6/6 from a 4/4. Instead, like this, instead of being like a gift, once you've played 2 7-cost cards, make it a 6/6. I would like to have seen Leaping Fugu go down that direction. So if you ever get up to 8 special lands, any Leaping Fugus you have in play would get empowered. But again, this is a very good card in the early game, and it scales into the late game quite nicely with its gift. So Leaping Fugu, a great choice if you're running a lot of special lands or you're running free wishes. Path to Paradise is another form of land ramp available in the Oversky. 2 Faeria, 1 forest, 1 mountain. Choose one, create a special land of your choice, much like Earthcraft, and then creatures summoned on it this turn gain +2/+0. So if you summon a creature on that land you created, it gets an attack power up. Now, I feel this card still needs more support. We're still waiting on some of the green-red cards to come out in order to see if Path to Paradise will be any good. But in this kind of free wish build, I've added it as a way to empower the Flower Silk Fairies, the Sun Silk Fairies, and the Flame Silk Fairies, just to give that additional attack and allow them to have more power. But again, I feel this card still needs a few more support cards from the Oversky to see if it'll be any good. So we'll have to wait until those cards come out, some green-red support, and then we'll see really how powerful this card is. Cedar Paradise is the last card of this review. A 2 Faeria, 1 forest, fly and dash 1, gift, choose 1. When this creature harvests over the ocean, it dies and creates a land of the chosen color. So another form of land ramp available in the Oversky now. Unfortunately, I feel that Cedar Paradise is a little underwhelming. I've played against this card, and you can kind of play around it quite a lot. You can use removal to get rid of it so it doesn't gain its ability, because it does have to collect in order to trigger the gift. So you don't gain that land unless it collects Faeria, so once you dash it into a well, you have to wait a turn. Or you just develop land underneath it, so making sure that it can't collect on an ocean tile, and then it's just a 0/2 collector, which doesn't really have any impact on board. I've added it to this Fairies list just for you guys to try out. I don't think it would stick. I'd probably remove it and add something else. I feel this is a little weak, but it can have some applications maybe in super land ramp heavy decks. If you really want more land ramp, Cedar Paradise could be an option, but I definitely feel that there are better options available. Earthcraft, Path to Paradise, and the Elemental card. So a little unfortunate Cedar Paradise isn't that too impactful, but to be fair, we have a lot of land ramp available to us already, so we just need to pick the best ones. That wraps up the card review section of this video, but we've had some balance changes as well to help spice up the Oversky and just check some cards that have appeared to be too powerful. Free Wishes is the first one. Free Wishes now generates additional cards from your opponent, but they cost 1 less instead of 3 less. Just toning down the power level of Free Wishes, making sure that Free Wishes count as Free Wish, get a bunch of removal for free and start removing the board. So I really like this change. I think it is a great direction for the card. Azure Skywhale got changed as well. No longer a 6/8, it is now a 6/6 that can't harvest Faeria. This is so important. So now the Skywhale can be answered with conventional removal. This makes stuff like Wind Soldier and Flame Burst in combination with other removal a good way to check the card. And also the fact it can't harvest is great, because before Skywhale could just double collect after it's been played, and it essentially cost 4 Faeria. So taking that ability away from the Skywhale is also great, so I'm very happy with the changes to this card. Crystal Flower actually had a change I didn't expect, which I feel is a great direction for the card. Instead of it losing life during your production, it now loses life at the end of your turn. So this means the Crystal Flowers will pop open when it passes to your opponent's turn. They will have control of their creature instead of the other way around, where it used to pop open on your turn, the play of the Crystal Flower, and then you could just remove it again. So very, very good change there for the Crystal Flower. Avery got changed. Golden Avery now is 2 Faeria. That gives your flyers +1 attack instead of the +2. So Basically, I feel that the devs may have felt this card limited to design space a little bit, because the Avery is just so good for flyers. I don't feel like you could really want anything else. So toning down that card allows them to print better and more powerful flying cards and power-ups for flyers instead of relying just on the Avery. Last but not least is the Forbidden Library. Just had its lakes increased to 5, slowing the card down. Oversky has offered a lot of land ramps, so no surprise that they've toned this card down just to make sure that it's a little bit more expensive, to take into account how easy it is to generate special lands now. But that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I look forward to the next island, which is the Pirate Area, where we'll have more Oversky cards coming. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, drop a subscribe, and you can keep up to date of when all our content goes live on this channel. And that is it for this week. Thank you very much again. I hope to see you next time. Take care and enjoy the Oversky.
Discover the Adventure Pouch Oversky, featuring a first-of-its-kind co-op campaign. Team up with either friends or powerful Faeria characters and discover a ton of new content, including more than 30 new cards. Join now to experience the Emperor's daily challenges and reap exclusive rewards. Explore the Oversky and reap the rewards today.